Yes, sir. I am indeed in the building. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm the only one here so far. Okay, I thought I was the only one here, but apparently 9 of you guys just popped up. Big up to you guys who have definitely tuned in to another vibes. Let me see if I can get this. Let me get this chat, live chat up so that you guys can see. Right there. 12 of you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Blessings from Atlanta. Mason Stewart, big up yourself for definitely being a part of this year live reaction or interaction, whichever you want to call it. Big up the Atlanta Massives. Where are you guys watching from, man? Let me know that in the live chat box right there. So far we have Mason right now out of Atlanta. 13 of you guys are in here in the building. Guys, let's see if we can get enough people as quickly as possible so we can start this stuff right there. The questionnaire is, who took the life of Daniel Langlois? Why is that Langlois? Langlois. I know there's Langlais and there's Dominique Marchand, of course. Who took the lives of these individuals? Of course, W5 has definitely did some sort of investigation. Of course, big up the Lion Massive, New Wave Entertainment. Big up yourself one time. What's that? Massachusetts. Man, it's been a while since I've been to Massachusetts, man. It's been a long time. I think the last time I was in Massachusetts was probably in 2013. So that's almost 11 years ago, man. Santa Roma Massive, big up yourself one time. I got family in Santa Roma. Right there. Hopefully I pronounced it correct. I said Santa Roma. I see Santa Romant. It's French, I guess. So, Lady Go, I early? That's a question? Nah, man. You never early. You know, when you arrive, that's when it begins. Yes, guys. So far we have 25 individuals, 28 now, with 3 likes, guys. I would appreciate if you guys click the like button. And of course, if you have not done so, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notifications. You can get the latest vibrations, guys. Definitely do so if you have not done so yet. But we have 25 individuals right there. Let me put this stuff up so I can actually see it myself. I don't think my stuff goes live though. When I'm on it, it doesn't go live for me. Of course, big up all the individuals who saw the previous reaction I did on this here BrBpTV platform. Not the live, but of course, you guys went crazy with this one right there. So big up to you guys for definitely watching that video. If you have not done so, you can definitely check it out afterwards. I got a lot of content for you guys there. I got a lot of content for you guys out there, man, because that's just how we roll. That's just how we roll, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys for definitely tuning into this here vibe. Post this one up there. Yeah. Valda locked in from NYC. Which part in New York? Lady Go, where are you watching from? $28 of you guys. Thanks for thumbsing up that video right there. Yes, man. Interesting times, man. Interesting times. And the thing is, if you guys pay attention to the world, oh, Lady Go, Alaska, big up, big up, big up. Man, Alaska is the only state, well, yes, the only state I have not been in the United States, man. I've been to every single one. The last one, I don't know if Hawaii is considered a state, but I was in Hawaii. The last one, that was like about 2019, yeah. 2019, around August, I went up to do a wedding in Hawaii. But Alaska is the only state I have not been, man. Yeah, I've been on 49 out of the 50 states. Most of these were just pass-throughs, but you know, I stayed inside them and I did a little gig here and there before we left. But yeah, man, Alaska. We actually tried to go and see the Northern Lights, but not in Alaska. In the other side of the world, we tried to do Iceland. We tried to do Iceland for us to go and see the Northern Lights and all this kind of things there. But if you guys saw the vlog, man, there was some sort of blizzard taking place there, and our planes, you know, they just canceled our flight, so we ended up going other places. And we could have gone and seen it in Norway, but that's a long flight, so we just decided next time when the opportunity arises, we'll go and see the Northern Lights. Maybe we'll go and see it in Alaska. But yeah, Alaska is definitely a vibe. 6 months of darkness, 6 months of light. I want to experience that. In other places, you can literally see the sun just doing this, you know. Well, I don't know if you guys can see, but the sun just does this thing right there. Like a wave. You can see the sun going up and down, up and down, up and down in certain parts of the world. So the individuals who believe that the world is flat, that doesn't actually make sense. Because if the world was flat, then that system of seeing the sun go up and down would not exist, while other places the sun completely vanishes. So the flat earthers, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Bless up from what? Lindsay. Oh, okay. I guess that person is talking about Lindsay. Who's Lindsay? Oh, Lindsay, Canada. I was like, what is that? Okay, Lindsay, Canada. That's the first time I'm hearing this one. Lindsay, Canada. I was in Canada last year, but I need to go and get my visa for me to go Canada. I have certain privileges where I was able to enter into Canada stuff, but I need to go back Canada. I like Canada. It's pretty nice and clean from the areas that I've been. It's nice and clean. It's more relaxed. It kind of reminds me of Texas to a certain, you know, a depth. But I like Texas. Yeah, boy. Texas is. If I have to move, I'm moving to Houston, Texas, or Dallas, Texas. Now, I think Houston has more people looking like me than Dallas, so I'll move to Houston. Queens, NYC. Me and New York have a love-hate relationship. French Guiana, big up yourself right there. Alicia, hopefully I pronounce your last name properly, or that's maybe a short version of your last name. French Guiana is in the building, man. Big up premier journalist, Mr. Lex. I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate the love. But we're actually gonna be seeing some real journalistic vibes, from my understanding, and of course reacting to that right there. So guys, when we reach the 10-minute mark, we're gonna start, man. I see a number of you guys coming in. I was hoping for 50 to just come in and bap bap. We're just rolling like this, man. But we'll have to do in about 35 seconds from now. Hopefully you guys having a wonderful Monday, man. I know sometimes you guys wake from the weekend and like, my God, the Monday is back again. But guys, life is something we have to take really seriously. I mean, there were 2 individuals over the weekend that I knew, you know, who were buried, man. I was actually in one of them, and my other family was in the other one. One was in Portsmouth, and the other one was in Salisbury. So, man, doesn't matter what day it is, enjoy life to the maximum. Make every second count, man. And I think this is vital, especially in the times that we're living in, because it's gonna get pretty interesting right there. Phil St. George, big up yourself one time. I appreciate the love. Watching from DMW. What is DMW? Dominica Wesley. What is DMW? Jules Johnson, big up yourself. Heavenly Symphony, Alicia Jacinta Sabine, big up. Totola, okay, big up the Totola massive. Ronald from Canada, big up. Lady Go, all of you, man. Dominica. The one man wealth, man. Help us, Abba Father. I listen to you all the time. We are from northeast of Toronto. Are you guys seeing the chat? It doesn't look like the chat is up. Chat is disabled from the live. What? I don't know what's going on there, but I guess I'll have to rectify this. Yeah, it's not showing. Hold on, let me see if I can rectify this, guys. Chat must behave yourself. Behave yourself. See if it pops up now. Okay. Oh, I see what's happening there. Are we in? Is the chat up? Can you guys see the chat? If you can, let me know that in the comment, in the live. Can you see the chat? Mr. Lix, you changed the hairdo. Oh, I don't change the hair. What, the hairdo? How you calling my hair the hairdo? What is this? My hair is the hairdo. That's something else. Isn't that something you tell your grandmother or your some of the elderly folks, your grand auntie? Hey man, nice hairdo. You tell me I changed my hairdo. That's crazy. Nah, I haven't changed my hair. My hair is gonna be going under a different kind of structure. For those of you wondering what on earth is going on with my hair, well, my hair is gonna be doing a different structure. That's why, you know, I had to pop it out. And you know, some people tell me I'm looking crazy. Some people say, hey, Mr. Lex, you're looking nice. You know, all them things, they're my people. But yeah, you guys will understand at the end of the month or early April, around that time, my hair is gonna be looking a bit different than it is at present, guys. I know my hair looks like it's a volcanic eruption on top of an eruption. I know, brothers and sisters. So yeah, anyways, guys, we are ready in the building. So you guys see in the chat? Yes, you see in the chat. Oh, okay, guys. All right, wonderful. Let me see it for myself. Yes, guys, we're strong and we're ready. Are you guys seeing the chat clearly, or should I make it bigger? The live chat that you... Let me see. Well, okay, guys. I think we're okay for now. Jerry Coles, you get... Oh, Jerry Coles and then Jerry Coles business. That's back in the day. Although they say back in the day styles has come about, you know. Back in the days, oh, it's clear. Okay, thanks. Okay, well, guys, let us just start this thing now. You know, let's start this vibe. W5 in the building.
W5.
All right.
An island paradise.
Yes,
a simmering feud and a brutal murder.
Are you guys hearing the screen? If you guys are on the screen, if you're not, let me know.
Individuals in that very vehicle.
It was not real. I could not believe that.
What happened to them was inhumane, and I believe there should be justice.
Fantastic.
And
Can't stop the feeling?
Yes.
I kind of thought it was a little weird at first.
gifted with an amazing memory.
November.
Yeah, that's good too. Not that we on.
Man travels to Dominica, the Big Five.
Okay, let's get to this.
Here is Avery Haynes.
Welcome to W5. It's a bombshell story involving a feud between millionaire neighbors, an alleged hitman, and a brutal double murder, all against the backdrop of a beautiful tropical island. Geneviève Beauchemin travels to Dominica to investigate who killed a Canadian animation pioneer and his partner, and why.
On the lush and remote Caribbean island of Dominica,
Yes, sir.
in the volcanic peaks above the southern village of Soufrière, an overgrown gravel road turns into the scene of a horrific crime.
Yes, sir. Well, they do their number on that one, way. Them people was making a movie, man, because the cinematics in this is incredible.
Saw black smoke. I heard explosions. 2 explosions, very loud.
Over a cliff, a car is left burning, and inside the torched vehicle, evidence of a brutal double murder. And
Yes,
even
sir.
more shocking, the suspected motive is a feud over a road. The victims, 2 Canadians, animation genius Daniel Langlois and his partner Dominique Marchand. Beloved in Quebec and revered in Dominica for bolstering the community and building an eco-resort called Colibri Ridge.
These were
Were they, by the way, guys, were they French? I think they're from Canada. Because the way they pronounce in this, it sounds like it's French. So were they French or just known as Canadians?
people that were not born in Dominica, but what they did for the people that were born in this country, they definitely helped shape their lives.
It just couldn't be true, you know? I mean, here...
Who's this guy? I've seen this guy before already. Do you know who this guy is? Because I've seen this guy already. Anyways, let's continue.
You know, 2 of our close friends, and it just didn't make sense.
Quickly, the spotlight turned to the couple's neighbor, American
Nuiv, let me do my reaction for me, please. It's a reaction. Okay.
millionaire Jonathan Laird. Media reports
Lila Benjamin, big up yourself one time. Mon Prosper Massive, big up one time.
swirled with rumors he
Quebec,
hired
okay.
a hitman. The person sitting on Laird's right is American Robert Snyder Jr.
Criminals, all the murder.
Snyder
Them people have all them swear words and thing inside them.
arrived in Dominica just 2 weeks before the murders and stayed with
Oh,
Laird.
okay.
5 days after the crime, both were arrested and charged. That Jonathan Laird was the police's main suspect came as no surprise to those who knew Marchand and Langlois.
Oh my God. There was not even one question, like everybody says it's Jonathan. We didn't even think about it.
Laird's father, though, defended him to Quebec media, saying his son is a successful businessman, not a murderer, not a violent man.
The father of the man suspected of having ordered the assassination of her. I see, maybe you guys might want to read this, so.
Successful businessman, not a murderer, not a violent man. Jonathan Laird came to this island in 2012 and bought this 18th century cocoa and coffee plantation named Wat Côtelette.
Now, I understand all the nice things that he has done, you know, for the people of the South and, you know, everything like that. But one thing I did not agree with is the fact that we have a historical site, man, and they allowed the foreigners to buy the property. I don't think that should have been at all. I think this thing should have stayed Dominica, and the individuals in charge of culture, the cultural division should, you know, put this thing together to be a tourist attraction of sorts. This is something that has history rooted in slavery. Then they just sold it over to the individuals because they wanted it. I don't think that should be, guys. What are your thoughts? Do you think that I mean, maybe there are individuals in the South watching this video as well, but do you think that this was okay for them to buy this property? Because I think that would have been a nice area to showcase the historical part of Dominica, at least the remains, you know, of some sort. But, yeah. Yes, share the live, people. Share the live. Ernst Philip, big up yourself. Valentin Bellot. Hi, family watching from Guada. Big up the Guada Massive. That reminds me of watching those real life stories. Yeah, that's my sentiment exactly. DJ Hothead, big up yourself one time. Yes, man. Theodore Hamlet, Quebec. Okay, all right. Big up one time. Let's continue.
Soon a bitter battle erupted. Lair, frustrated with the flow of traffic that cut through his property to Colibri Ridge on a public road. Those who used the road claimed they were terrorized by the accused American for years.
So it's a Canadian versus an American, and the American versus Dominicans. Dominicans in their own land were being frustrated by these Americans because they were passing on public property, brothers and sisters, that apparently was passing through their property.
I see you. I'm filming what she's doing.
What that video?
I see it. You see what she's doing?
This cell phone video shows Lair's wife, Victoria.
What am I doing?
What you f***ing want to people? You know what?
It's after 5 o'clock.
She telling the man after 5 o'clock like he's his mother. She sent him to go and shop, man, or something. She telling the man it's after 5. What he doing all time? Well, I don't encourage violence, but you know, sometimes for people to learn, you have to. All right then.
Keep walking.
She's yelling at farmer Neville Henderson, who was heading home from work.
She always had the dogs attacking me, and they just didn't want anybody to pass on that particular road because they were thinking that is part of their property.
Well, the public road, if your dog attack me, you don't have dog again, eh? I telling you, I'll bring it for them Chinese to make some chicken.
But it was never part of their property. It's a public road.
In 2018, Daniel Langlois took Jonathan Lair to court over access to the road. The breaking point, an incident when Lair blocked the road with boulders, dug a trench across it, and put up metal pipes and scattered equipment.
Why didn't the police authorities get involved in this to tell them that they can't do this? This is something I find very strange. Maybe they didn't want to bother the individuals who made investments in Dominica. And I'm talking about the Americans, because apparently I heard that the Americans were also in the Panama Papers, which is interesting. But why didn't the police get involved? They're on a public property. People are getting frustrated by these white folks, by these individuals, and nothing has been done.
Langlois argued this blocked access to Colibri Ridge and interfered with his business. He won, but confrontations continued.
Exactly, Donald. It should not have been allowed. It should not have been sold, yeah.
While on the island, local divers told us of a German...
Who's the Bellots? The Bellots sold it, wasn't it Dominica's own?
tourist who was in Dominica the week of the murders. We heard he had a frightening encounter.
Tell me about that day then. What were you doing that day?
For some exercise walk, I had planned a trip to the Colibri Ridge.
Thomas says along his route, about a kilometer from Colibri Ridge, someone guarding Lara's estate yelled at him twice.
He said, I can't pass. This is private property, I have to go back. And then there was shouting, hey, you please piss off, and so on. And so I said, sorry.
Gassa, you cannot. I just trying to put myself in this situation where I'm passing on what I know is public road. It's not your private land. If it's your private land, fine. But this is public road and you're coming to make noise with me. Gassa, the amount of sleepers of... You see that thing there? The amount of... Sorry, I doesn't promote violence.
Because I was not knowing that it was leading again to the property, so I went back.
His GPS watch tracked his next move. When he was just 50 meters away from that first encounter, he says he heard shots.
When I was covered by the trees, I heard shootings. So, like twice or triple time double shooting. So like from a pistol it was, or from a gun.
Rattled, he headed toward a new hiking trail that would turn out to be along the gravel road where the burning vehicle was later found. He came across a second man.
And he said, I can't pass. So he was, standing in like 20 meters in front of me and said, stop, you can't go. And I said again, why? No, this is private property, you can't go.
Thomas
Guys, before I continue that right there, kudos to W5 for definitely doing this, because one of the things I've been asking myself quietly, I'm like, so what has happened as a result of the investigation? We are not hearing anything at all. It seems like people are saying they're not in jail or they're in jail. What has happened? Nothing is being done. Well, then again, it's Dominican police officers. They are the ones who should be doing this stuff, and it's not really, I guess, up the alley. So I guess foreign journalists have to come down and do the work for people to find out what exactly is going on. But I mean, come on. If the Dominican police officers cannot do the jobs, there's no detectives in Dominica. Best does disband the whole police force. I mean, because it's clear that the police force has a history of waiting for citizens to mainly do the work so that they can come and then claim like it's they that do it. That's from my experience. That's what I've noticed. Am I the only one that's noticing this, guys? Have you noticed this as well? Let me know that in the live chat right there.
Walked 2 kilometers back to the village. Along the way, he was startled by a loud explosion.
I saw black smoke. I heard explosions, 2 explosions, very loud.
Pausing this. Leila Benjamin said the government has a nasty habit of selling historical sites. Yeah, the government should not be selling historical sites. But somebody said that it belonged to the Belots. I don't think it should belong to anybody. I think this is well, then again, the Belots were who? Who were the Belots? Dominicans? Were the Belots Dominicans? But at the end of the day, this is a historical site. I think it should remain Dominican and not be owned by anybody. So I think the government should have bought this back. Just like how the government has just acquired people's lands in Wesley, I think the government should acquire this back and then, compensate them for this and then rebuild this thing so it can be a historical site in Dominica. But then again, I'm thinking of goodwill, and I think that the Chinese are mashing up some sort of old building that used to be there. You're probably right, man, because as I'm thinking deeper in this, it's kind of crazy. The Belots used to own this. So I was raised there. Okay. Yes, it was both estates belonging to... Who were the Belots? Who were the Belots family? Yeah, thumbs up this video, guys. I would appreciate that right there. The government might be keeping this under wraps, man, because some people were passing and they said that they saw the guy with his legs up on his porch with the police officers as if they're guarding him. That's crazy.
So for me, it was like dynamite.
Months after the burning 4x4 was found, we returned to the scene with Céline Casey, a close friend of Marchand and Langlois. There are still charred trees and reminders of a memorial.
So wait, down there this situation happened, I thought it was by a river somewhere. Because they're talking about the trees have fires to them. I thought it was by a river. That's the video I saw.
In the morning, we were all looking for them everywhere on the property.
What do you remember of that day?
The police, I was saying, can you tell us what type of car? You have the license plate? And they say, no, everything burnt and all that. So when we came, they put the car up and they were removing the bodies from the car. Some people were like crying, saying, oh, it's them, I know it's them. It was not real. It could not believe that, so.
Rasta Ozzy said the Belots were the owners of Bello Company, making pepper sauce, jams, etc. But were they Dominican? That's what I want to know.
6 days later, in the capital city of Roseau, police...
Hey, Valentin Bellot. Bellot, you related to them now? Talk to us.
...confirmed what the community suspected but struggled to accept.
As the lead investigator in this matter, I can report on the first day of December 2023, a burnt-out SUV vehicle was discovered in the Soufriere area. There were 2 burnt individuals in that very vehicle.
They are not there. They are not there to enjoy what they work for.
True.
It is stupid.
Of course.
Neville Henderson says if Lair is to blame, then police should be held accountable. That he warned them multiple times the dispute over the road had reached a boiling point.
That's a good point right there. Because I've been asking, why weren't the police officers informed about what was taking place? So if they were informed and they did nothing, then the police themselves should be liable for what happened, because they could have prevented it from happening, guys. What are your thoughts? Think about it, Mr. Legs. The was a passport seller. Interesting. Well, I've heard that as well. The police force can be trusted, and we know how incompetent they are. Well, I myself don't know what they do in Mont Bruce. They tend to go up and train and be walking around, you know, making a show for people. Oh, look at them marching, yay! And then a few years later, you see them with some kind of size belly on them, and you're wondering what kind of police force is best. I make you run. Let me go and volley something and tell you I volleyed so you can chase me. And in that way, you will be able to, you know, seems that is what needs to be done. Don't volley people, please. Let's continue.
A lot of complaint. A lot of complaint. I go to the Soufriere police station about
10 times.
10 times. Because the thing is, they knew. They knew the problem was going on.
And they did nothing about it. Why? That is the question. Why didn't they do anything about it?
They knew, and they never do anything about it. They never address the problem.
Guys, what do you think this is? The police is supposed to protect the people. Whether you obtain passports through or citizenship through CBI, or you were born or naturalized, whatever the case might be, guys, why didn't the police do nothing to protect its own citizens? Especially individuals who are doing something wonderful in Soufriere to at least elevate the people of Soufriere. I cannot understand how you're not trying. Boy, well, I was gonna ask, why didn't the individuals who were having problems with Jonathan individuals, why didn't they do nothing about it? Maybe they didn't, but they're not here to talk, guys. They're not here to talk. They are gone.
Harry Aline was kayaking with Langlois and Marchand days before they died. He captured a few moments on video. Precious images to him now.
So it pretty much hit me like any hurricane would hit an island. It just hit me in so many different ways, and I cried for at least 2 days when it happened.
Did you really cry for 2 days, bro? Did you really? But then again, I heard that they were really loved in that community, so it's possible.
Different ways, and I cried for at least.
Rasta Ozzy say, follow the passport sale money. But I mean, why would you try to jeopardize yourself if you're selling passports? I mean, right now they're in jail, they can't sell passports. Why did you? What? Sometimes trying to understand human behavior is just next to impossible, guys.
2 days when it happened.
Aline also worked for the accused American Jonathan Lair for nearly a year in 2019, running tours on his estate. He had a front row seat to the feud over the road.
He wasn't too fond of them passing on the road because he wanted private access and nobody else should be passing on his property.
Now, guys, before I continue, the question I must ask for individuals who live down there, was there another road, or was this road built as a result of them? If the road was there already before they came, why then are they trying to make claim of the road to then say that the citizens themselves cannot pass on the road? So was the road built before these Jonathan individuals came, or was it built after? If you guys know, I know a number of you guys are here from the Soufriere. Let me know if it was built after they came or before they came. The Jonathan individuals, the murder accused.
3-4 generations before me used to use that road, and it was always public access.
Aline is now waiting to see what becomes of the case.
These are the individuals right there. Some people just, something wrong with human beings, boy. The police is no longer there to protect the people, but to protect Skerrit and his entourage. Well, it seems so, because when you look at Skerrit, them, it seems like they have a set of officers around them. I've never seen any prime minister in the history of Dominica that I know being alive who had this kind of entourage around them. And the thing is, when I went to the Botanical Garden event for November 3rd last year, there was a number of these guys there. And they were trying to, I don't know if they think they can intimidate me or something. I came right in the thing and started to film. And the guy was like, he doesn't want me filming. So I had the lawyer on the phone listening. And he, hey, you want problems, you will find problems. But it's just sad what is taking place when it comes down to the authorities. And not just the police officers, but the leadership itself. You know, they don't tend to cater to the people. So why should the police cater to the people if the leadership doesn't cater to the people in the first place? That is very interesting, guys. Let's continue.
His former boss is now behind bars awaiting trial.
And I believe there should be just.
Before I continue, guys, let me go back. So somebody answered and said the road was there before the Jonathan individualism came. So why are they making claim as if it's their land? I don't know. Let's continue.
Former boss is now behind bars awaiting trial.
And I believe there should be justice. What happened to them was inhumane.
We tried to speak to both Jonathan Lair and Robert Snyder Jr. at Dominica's state prison. We were turned away and received no response to requests with their lawyers. 15 kilometers away, along the southern shore of Soufrière, many islanders came together to honor the 2 Canadians who became part of Dominica.
For more than 2 decades, these people have been nothing but just locals. We lost a huge part of us from the community.
They're now struggling with the thought a dispute over a road could be at the heart of such a tragedy.
And the funny thing is, it's not even a local that did this, you know. Some individual from overseas that have his dirty ways, carry his dirty ways with him down to Dominica. This is why I think why United Kingdom and European Union are doing what they're doing to Dominica, because Skerrit is saying that what they tend to do is have, or Dominica has the most robust due diligence process. And here you have an individual bringing his, you think this guy could just decide, hey, I want to take all these guys and just bow. He had his dirty ways within him, brothers and sisters. And he bring it to Dominica. When you had a good individual, like these individuals that were taken, you have this American fella just come in and just bring his dirty ways, man. Stop your dirty ways.
All the signs were there. We didn't put one and one together. That is really a shame.
Coming up.
This entire process is somewhat shrouded in secrecy.
Are political ties and outside influence hindering justice?
We will do what we have to do as a police.
But the police don't seem to be doing what they need to do. Because, I mean, it's nice that you guys come up and you march for November 3rd and you salute, and it's nice, you in uniforms, but the police is not policing it from my understanding, guys. What are your thoughts?
When W5 continues.
So let me get some of you guys. Sally John, big up yourself one time. Dominica have the best police force in the world. Is the first place that I seen that police don't check for license and registration. So much people with no insurance. Okay. Somebody else say, LL said the murderers are connected to certain people in Dominica and Canada. The case will be dealt with. Well, we're not sure if the case is going to be dealt with now, because I heard they were trying to get Canada to come and do some investigation, and we're not hearing much about that. What has happened? Do you guys know any updates on that? because I have not heard any updates in this regard. Guys, I would appreciate if you click the thumbs up button. Thanks to the individual I clicked the like button when I just said that. Click the thumbs up button, guys. I would appreciate it right there. The like button, if you're watching from your television, just go over to your phone, click BrBpTV and click the like on the live right there. Please do so, guys. I would appreciate that 150 billion%. 132 of you guys are there. So just click the thumbs up button, guys. Let's get this video to 100 likes right there, this live. Perad says them police broke. Well, whether police broke or not, they chose this profession and they are not supposed to go based off how they feel or how much money they were paid. They chose the profession so they can do proper policing, and if they're not doing that, then they should go somewhere else. It's rather interesting that we're talking about police, guys, and I remember that the police were doing some search for a particular individual. And it was an individual who left Dominica, who went to Montserrat, who came back, I guess, with the proper trainings of Montserrat. He came back and he was the one who decided to do the trails and everything like that. And he found a missing person. And you had a set of police officers just back and forth. I guess they were waiting for the citizens for them to try to do something. What? Sometimes you tend to wonder, what is the point of a police? And then again, you can even go further. What is the point of the government in the first place? They're not doing nothing for the people.
Venture seekers from around the world. Venture seekers from around the world come to this island. Some to explore the Caribbean Sea, some to hike through lush rainforest. But against this peaceful backdrop, a murder plot unfolded in the hills of Dominica. Two Canadians, Daniel Langlois and Dominique Marchand, were killed and found hours later in their burning 4x4 pushed over a nearby cliff.
Oh, so it was by the cliff. I don't know why I thought it was by a river or something. Maybe because of the trees or something, but okay.
Céline Casey came to this island 7 years ago. She says their brutal deaths don't match the lives they led.
They're very special people. I'm telling you, they would be able to change the world. All their money was for their project, for what they wanted to achieve. They had a really simple life.
Well, when you come out from a complex area and you've seen a lot of things and cars and, man, I tell you, seen so much rich things and people are still not happy at the end of the day, you finally get a chance for you to relax and come to a place where poverty is rampant, and then there's the living ability of simplicity. Then I think that would be a good thing. You get to be more calm and collective.
They had a really simple life.
Daniel Langlois was a technical genius with a creative mind. In the 1980s, he pioneered computer-generated animation and created the company Softimage.
Okay.
The visual effects in films like The Matrix, Jurassic Park, and Men in Black were the result of the tools Langlois created. In 1990.
So we had a legend in Dominica and the police refused. But I cannot understand that now. The police refused to do anything to stop this Malcase Tony people from bordering to the point where they took out these individuals just because these people were passing on public road. I want to see what they will sentence them with. Yeah, sick and twisted, wicked people, man. These people, these two individuals, these two men, the Satan children that they are.
1994, he sold his company to Microsoft for $130 million.
Yes, I.
Dominique Marchand was his partner in life and in countless projects.
Why they keep saying partner? Why don't they say wife? Wasn't that his wife? Or was that his girlfriend? Because I keep hearing them say partner. You know, I don't know. Was that his wife or his girlfriend?
They were working all the time. Their computer face to face. So it was proximity, always being together. So they were trying to help people that was less fortunate. The people love them very, very, very much.
Well, when you're giving people money, they will always love you. They will always love you. Because when you run out of money, you'll know if they really love you. Hold on, Phil St. George, I wondered what happened to the French lady that disappeared in Dominica. Oh, as for that. Yes, the one who went on the trail and disappeared. I myself. Seems like when you go missing in Dominica, if the police from Dominica have to go and look for you, you lose, eh? There's no finding you with Dominica police.
In the wake of the devastation Hurricane Maria inflicted on Dominica in 2017, Langlois and Marchand stepped up to help.
He offered us a house to live in because he knew I was living in a tent. So he literally was the one that kind of saved me.
Guys, who is this guy? I've seen this guy already. Who is this guy? They were not married. Okay. Okay, that's why they say long-time partner. Okay. He was probably smart. He was like, you know what? Let me not marry this lady. You know, next thing we married and she divorced me and she take half my stuff and go. Maybe. I don't know. Let's continue.
Me a little bit after Hurricane Maria and gave me a reason to stay here and a reason to see hope.
Oh,
Simon
yes.
Walsh came to the island in 1992. He runs a dive shop sending expeditions out daily. And in the wake of Hurricane Maria, he and Langlois took on community projects under the banner ResDM, or Resilient Dominica, including the rebuild of a primary school.
Well, this was everything for Daniel. I mean, this was our first big project.
And he was connected to the
And he was,
community.
absolutely connected to the community. And then he could drive by every day and see his work. He would stop and talk to the principal and just talk to the kids and see the kids playing and know that this was all, you know, part of his legacy.
Yeah, that was a good guy.
Pretty special.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, you can tell he was a good guy, man. You can tell he was a good guy. It's just unfortunate that our own people treat us worse than foreigners. Even in our own country. That's something else, eh? But you can tell, you know.
Langlois and Marchand were passionate about the environment, and Colibri Ridge, with its beautiful views of the island, was their dream project. It's a 14-suite luxury eco-resort using solar and wind energy and harvesting of rainwater. Céline Casey is determined to keep it open, to keep welcoming tourists.
My mission right now, I want Colibri Ridge to live because they have worked on this project for 20 years. This is a project that is so ahead of its time. I don't want it to die.
So she take over it. Didn't the owners have family members or something like that? Did they have kids? Or she just decide, hey, maybe I was a manager and maybe I'll take over it?
We came to Dominica in search of answers. And while many officials wouldn't speak,
Of
we
course.
did learn more from the tourist hiking in the area on the day of the murders. Thomas spoke to me by phone from Germany about how police took him back to the scene that week, and of his surprise when along for the ride were the suspects.
And then I jumped into a bus, and when I was sitting there, then I recognized behind me that was Robert Snyder, and also Jonathan Lehrer was as well there. They were in handcuffs, and there were also police beside and behind them.
So that's probably why they said 3 individuals initially. But they said that there was a local as well. And they released the local and the other person. So maybe this guy was the other person. Jules Johnson, for what I understand, they had already made her manage before they... Okay. But I'm talking about she taking over it. I mean, it's one thing to be a manager of an establishment, but be the one who takes over. So that's why I asked if they have children or something like that, that they can come and inherit their parents' stuff. So, where's the wife of the murder? Well, that's a good question. Donald.
At each location, Thomas explained what he saw and heard in front of the suspects.
They made picture from that scene, putting numbers on the ground and so on, asking me from which direction.
Thomas says he identified Robert Snyder Jr. to police as one of the men he encountered on the road that day. He noticed that Snyder now had visible burns on his arm and leg.
So guys, today I'm hearing that this individual's leg had to be cut. I'm not really sure 100%, but I was told that his leg had to be cut as a result of gangrene. So he is probably in jail with 1 foot. So that's interesting right there. Sherlon John Baptist, she's always been part of it from the start. Yes, I understand she could be the manager from the very beginning, but you know, as owner, I'm talking not just talking about managing, I'm talking about ownership. Who was next in line to be the owners of Colibri?
I saw the heavy burning on his calf, on his forearm, but he didn't have this injury when I met him on the trail.
And at the time of their arrest,
And the man smiling, me boy.
Met him on the trail.
The man smiling, me boy. What is wrong with the man, boy? You don't see evil that in the man. The man had dark.
And at the time of their arrest, authorities confirmed that Snyder had third-degree burns. Here's what we know about each of the suspects. Robert Snyder Jr., 62 years old, is an American citizen from St. Petersburg, Florida. Jonathan Lair, age 57, is an American businessman who came to Dominica in 2012 with his family.
So pretty much around the same time they did, or, well, I think they took this over in 2012 from my understanding. So I guess around the same time. Well, he in jail right now, and he may be Rasta. He in jail. Yes, he might be smiling because he know he will be free. He walk free, but at least he might not walk out in the way he walk in.
He owns this 18th century cocoa and coffee plantation. He's also a passport agent on the island.
Of course.
That's a role under a special program which allows offshore buyers to make an investment of 200,000 American dollars in real estate, and in exchange they receive Dominican citizenship.
And some of them never end up in Dominica. They tend to go England, they go European Union. They don't care nothing about Dominica as long as they are able to travel to places that they were not able to travel before. And look at where it get us. We're about to lose European Union, visa free, alas. Poor Dominicans, we alas. And guys, keep in mind, these places are cheap, you know. You might pay a little money for you to fly to these areas, especially from the Caribbean, well, from Dominica, but once you fly out, brothers and sisters, and you're in these places are cheap. You get in a plane for what? $20, $30, we? $20, $30, $68, $102, and distance. Because I took a plane from Norway to, no, it was Ireland to Norway for $102, $103, $102. And that was a 3-hour flight. 3-hour flight. Try flying from Dominicana and say you go in Miami. See how much money you have to pay.
Lair sells shares in this real estate project on his property.
He's in a very select group of people who've gotten the government to sign off on a major monopoly that can make a ton of money for the person who holds it.
Activist Zach Coplin investigated Dominica's citizenship program by poring through records at the National Archives. He says thousands of passports were being issued, some to international criminals.
But Scared come in and say, oh, we have the most due diligence program in the world. Not true, Scared. All right then. But then criminals getting our passports. And not 1, 2, you know, brothers and sisters. Not 3, 4. Even when you look at Kepinski, we heard that there are certain individuals who were involved in crimes who also participated in investing in Kepinski. Well, the building, this is why I asked the question based off what OCCRP had bring forth. Does the people who have the buildings now, do they even know this? So that is a very interesting thing right there. Mr. Leaks, why is Skerrit so silent about the murder? Well, that is a question you'll have to ask him, because, you know, Skerrit doesn't want to talk about a lot of things unless they come out in the public, and then he comes and pretends, hey, nothing happened, nothing much happening.
They were money launderers, they were crypto scammers, sanctioned Russian oligarchs, fugitive criminals from all around the world. It's an insane amount of money coming to the island for an island of 70,000 people.
Coming to the island? Who tell it reach? It don't reach, na, sir.
And it's certainly not trickling down to the average Dominican.
Of course.
Dominica is under scrutiny as a gateway to Europe. Countries like the UK now cracking down, forcing those with Dominican passports to hold visas to enter.
Yeah, they do cracking down. They have cracked down already. And the European Union is on the verge to do so. I remember when Skerrit come and say, oh, we had a successful meeting. Just the other day, March 7th, Ireland put visa restrictions on Dominica. I see.
Jonathan Lair is one of just 8 agents selling a share of his property for a golden passport. This gives him access to leaders in government.
If Jonathan Lair were coming in for meetings at the passport office, he'd be right next to the Prime Minister's office.
I believe that there were enough warning signs to have done something about it before it happened.
Matt Pelche is a talk show radio host in the capital city of Roseau, and he takes the pulse of local opinion.
Mr. Lair was a passport agent.
Yes.
What is the significance of that? What's the impact of that?
Well, a lot of questions about that, because the Prime Minister and the Tourism Minister seem to have a good relationship with these guys here. So they're wondering, would that affect that case?
Of course. What you mean? Of course. If the man has a gold mine and the man is the pivot point to reaching government officials and rich people, all sorts of rich people across the world, you think they want to take away that gold mine? This is probably why we haven't been hearing anything much about that scenario. We haven't been hearing anything but anything at all. Are they waiting for the Canadians? What exactly are they going on? What exactly are they doing?
Is there a concern that there won't be justice?
There's a lot of concern whether this couple will actually get justice that they need.
Why?
Well,
corruption.
I can say that we've not seen our justice.
Corruption. Our justice system is corrupted. I just did an article of let me see if I can find it for you guys, of the justice individual that spoke about, you know, Dominica's justice system. I can't seem to find it. It's on Dominica News Online. Anyways, let's continue.
System working as it should be. People will actually, and the Tourism Minister seem to have a good relationship with these guys here. So they're wondering, would that affect that case?
Is there a concern that there won't be justice?
There's a lot of concern whether this couple will actually get justice that they need.
Why?
Well, I can say that we've not seen our justice system working as it should be.
Tucked amidst the busy streets of Roseau is Dominica's...
It's interesting that Skerrit didn't come and see Matt Pelche trying to destroy Dominica by literally talking about what the government or whoever is involved with them are doing. We haven't seen the justice system being just. And they'll probably say, oh, Matt Pelche trying to ruin Dominica. You remember what they tried to do Lennox Linton after he was talking about Skerrit's governance? Skerrit then flipped it and then put it on Dominica, saying that Lennox Linton was talking bad about Dominica when he was actually talking about his sucky governance. All right.
Police headquarters. I went there in hopes of...
Yes, exactly. Corruption in plain sight.
Roseau is Dominica's police headquarters. I went there in hopes of getting information after many unanswered emails and calls.
All the best.
6 hours later, acting police chief Valerie Davidson agreed to speak.
Okay.
What can you tell people to reassure them that there will be justice for them?
Indeed, we have taken this matter is very serious. It was investigated and the accused were arrested within days and they were charged. We believe that there is sufficient evidence to afford the charge. And
Wait a while.
the accused were arrested within days.
They were arrested within days.
And they were charged.
They were charged. Were they charged for murder? What exactly was the charge? Hopefully the journalist asked this question.
We believe that there is sufficient evidence to afford the charge and pursue the conviction of the suspects.
For the conviction. All right.
We will not relent until we bring these perpetrators to justice. We want to show our visitors that we care about them.
Really? So if you want to show the visitors that you care about them, why didn't you guys do something to prevent what has happened? Because there were locals that came to the police officers warning about these wicked people. I'm sure that Jonathan, Daniel and Dominic them actually would most likely have gone to the police as well. But when the local individuals stated that they went to the police about 10 times to warn these people, and it seems like the police did nothing, how then can we trust that the police is saying this to believe them?
Evidence to afford the charge and pursue the conviction of the suspects. We will not relent until we bring these perpetrators to justice. We want to show our visitors that we care about them.
Those words have done little so far to calm the fears of those
Ah.
close to Langlois and Marchand.
I'm glad this reporter didn't just swallow it and say, oh, okay, oh, really? Okay, we believe you and we accept that. Thanks. We are not labor rights in this regard. When labor rights just accept whatever the government tell them, oh, it's true. Yes, it's true. That is what Skerrit says is true. That's what police say is true. Yes. As if the police cannot lie. Remember what was happening with the Kian incident, aka the madman? Thank God people knew how to do timing and this kind of things there, and then they came back later on to give a completely different story from what the previous police officer did and gave. So you don't think police can lie to us, brothers and sisters? The greatest fear man should have is not in themselves, but in those that they trust, expecting them never to lie to them. Brothers and sisters, the only man we can ever trust is Yeshua himself. Because I know he never lied to us. We might lie to him, but let's continue.
Of course, you know that there's an investigation going on, but at one point we need to take matter into our hands. So that's why we did the cleaning of the road, we did the street light.
You did the cleaning of the road. Hopefully you did not clean the area where the incident took place, because that is evidence and that is tampering with evidence. Or maybe she's talking about something else.
We reinforce security, and we are going to do more.
The shock of violence has even prompted Casey to consider a weapon.
Well, I think the main problem, they're in jail, so I think that problem is over. But you always have to secure yourself right there. You definitely do have to secure yourself. Guys, I'd also like you guys to secure the like button. Click the like button for me, please. Click the thumbs up button right there, guys. Click the thumbs up button so we can continue watching this stuff right there. It's almost over, but would appreciate if you guys click the like button. I don't know why I have to be saying this all the time like that, guys. It's so simple. Just click the like button. That's all. Just click the like button, guys. It doesn't take much. Let me see what some of the comments is saying. Corruption in plain sight. Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, people know there's corruption in plain sight, but they want to pretend, oh, that's not what we're seeing. Jerry Nelson is saying, I'm one of those patriots that are ready to stand up day and night till we get the dictator and his corrupt government in power. By any means, I think you mean out of power. Well, we have to wait for the electoral reform. and see what is happening as a result of the electoral reform. What I think is going to happen is that the electoral reform, two things could possibly happen. Scary decides to give the individuals everything that, you know, Dominicans want, voter ID cards, you know, clearing out the voters list, all these things, which I highly doubt will ever happen. That's not going to happen, but he might do this and then knows that his days are over, and then he leaves. He's building his mansion for him to stay in his mansion so he can come and visit Dominica from time to time, he and his family, while they go overseas. Remember, his children are born overseas. His wife has a Canadian passport, I think, whatever his wife has, and there's a possibility he's still French. Okay, guys, which is interesting because you can combine the two and become global citizens, but maybe that's what they were trying to do. But anyways, guys, I think it's very interesting when it comes down to that dynamic right there. The other one is Scary could just really just make the electoral reform absolutely ridiculous, insane, to the point where it benefits him totally, and then frustrate the people. When he frustrates the people, it's then going to go back to the drawing board, and that self is going to take a long while yet again. Because keep in mind, in 2019, Scary stated that they were going to be given electoral reform. 100 days, he made a promise. It's rather interesting that 100 days passed, no promise was met, to the point where in 2022, 3 years later, there was another election. Boy, that is truly something else right there. Guys, click the thumbs up button. There's 186 of you guys there. Click the thumbs up button right there. Davidson said, remember Choxy? Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's a good point right there. Choxy was one of the individuals who apparently the police seems to have concocted with the anti-gun whatever was happening. That's a possibility right there. Choxy stated that he was kidnapped. You bring the man on shore, put the man in jail, and then some plane just magically appear to pick him up. What kind of foolishness is that? And you pretending as you have no idea what was going on when all you were in Kepinski, chilling, having discussions or whatever all you were doing? Really? Oh, that's a good one right there. Very good right there. Davidson, big up yourself one time. Scary do say in a fat for it. What? Jules, Mr. Line so much he cannot even look the lady straight in her face, according to the old people. What is that? Mamushein? Not Mamutein, that is the word. Anyways. Remember Choxy, nothing but lies. I remember I was on a correspondent for one of the Indian things, man. Indian companies, media companies, and all the information I was getting, putting that piece together. They still wanted me on the retainer, you know, because they check in what I giving them is gold. So they wanted me on retainer because I was finding the information and making it make sense and bringing it forth to the people right there. But it's just interesting that all that was happening, guys. All that was happening, and nothing came from it. Nothing, because the police kept lying and keep making up story for them. I don't think sometimes it's better not to lie, guys. Just don't lie. If you know you cannot lie, don't lie. You lying, and then when we find out you lying, you try to make another lie to cover up the previous lie you tell, and the other lie you telling worse than the previous lie that not making any sense at all. Choxy is a great example of that. Demonstrator, big up yourself one time. That's just crazy. Cameron Dupini, I guess that's the name. Not only that, he probably holds some dirty business secrets of Scary. Yes. So that's true. The Jonathan individual, they probably knew something and say, well, if you don't get me out, I'm going to release it. So maybe, you know, Skirt Sakwevole, when Scary leaves, he's not coming back. Well, he built in his mansion for him to come and stay, you know, from time to time. I think they will be going overseas, you know, raise their children overseas and what have you, and then come back from time to time, but they will be living a life of luxury, you know. Pure lies. Press the like. Yes, guys. No Africa. I appreciate that. Tell the people to click the thumbs up button, man. Who to blame? Not Scary. The people are the ones. Yeah, the people have a level of blame to take, certainly, but it's not just the people though. it is also the government, because the people elect the government to do certain things. The government lies to the people and they don't do it. So whether the people constantly allow themselves to be bamboozled or fooled, yes, that is the people, but the people expect the government to do something. The focus that I tend to have on the people is that the people know that they have been lied to constantly and they keep voting the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. They call that insanity. That's not insanity alone, that is foolish. Anyways, guys, let's continue. Right there. Liars has poor memory. That's true. Hear it and the housing. Lying, what is that? Soling, lying do put you in. Oh, lying go put you in a lot of trouble. My people, thumbs up. Yes, guys, thumbs up this video. I would appreciate that right there, man. Let this video reach 100 thumbs up. Mr. Felix watching you from, where's that? That's France? What flag is that? Cameroon, which flag is that? Is that the France flag? Jerry Nelson, my people, thumbs up here. Heavenly Symphony, years. Yeah, man, the man lying for years upon years. And the people know they lie. The people know he lying. God, sigh, never seen that yet in my life. It's like, you know, somebody stealing your stuff over and over. And you checking, boy, don't steal my things. Stop stealing my things. The person stealing your things over and over, and you putting the person back in the same position to steal your things again. Brothers and sisters, I think the thief is not the problem there, you know. I think it's the person allowing the person to steal their things. Okay, big up the France massive, man. I love France. I'm not gonna lie. I love France. When we entered France, we didn't have to go through no passport control, none of that stuff. Boy, France no easy. But right now, you know, people might not be able to go France again. You know, European Union. And you know, France is a part of the European Union. So it's just unfortunate that this has happened. I will be able to go France again. But, you know, let me just leave that there.
In my opinion, it's not just a matter of a road. So for sure, yes, I want to have my license, my arm. I want to protect myself.
Have you ever shot a gun, held a gun?
Never. And it's not my nature.
Casey's also calling on the Canadian government for help.
Well, the government of Dominica didn't want them to pay, what, $3 million or something, or 1 point something million dollars for the case. They wanted them to pay it. They want Canada. It's not Canada that the thing happened, you know. They want the help of Canada, but they're wanting Canada to pay us a big sum of money so that they can run the case. The government of Dominica's police, we know listen to the chat. We're talking about police being incompetent, brothers and sisters, to not be able to fulfill. I'm just thinking of something that I saw, guys. I remember seeing a video of a guy stealing a lady's necklace on camera. On camera, I see it. And when I asked the police officers that I know what happened to the case, the individual was still at large. So even on camera, when they're stealing things in front of you, much less when you were not there to solve the problems. This is why the outside individuals need to come in. They need to come in. I mean, there's evidence on his leg. I mean, that is ample evidence that, you know, especially there was this tourist that was walking and he also saw this guy telling him not to go through. So there's evidence on his leg of the burn marks. There was that very same thing that they saw in the vehicle as well. And you know, so there's ample evidence against them. But this guy could be one of the government's people that would bring them a lot of more money. So that is an interesting scope right there.
But you were disappointed that Canada wasn't doing more.
Oh, where are the Canadian embassy? Where are the Canadian helping us? Daniel and Dominique, they were somebody, they did a lot for the community, for Canada and all that.
We contacted Global Affairs, who directed us to the RCMP. The response: the RCMP does not comment on specific criminal investigations in foreign jurisdictions.
The RCMP is aware there's... This is dark, hold on. The RCMP is aware there is an investigation in Dominica in relation to the passing of 2 Canadian citizens. We work closely with our international partners and maintain strong relationships with law enforcement agencies around the world. The RCMP does not comment on specific criminal investigations in foreign jurisdiction. When it's your citizens that is involved in foreign, I think you guys, well, they say comment, it doesn't mean that they're not involved. So we work closely with our international partners and maintain strong relationships with, yeah, I mean, your citizens there. They were just in another country, but is your citizens, so you guys should, you know. But I'm guessing based off what I read before, it seems like scary them. The government wants the Canadians to pay for it. What? They are helping you, but you want them to pay for it. Heavenly Symphony, Dominica, Metaverse, maybe even a GTA 5. I would never compare Dominica to GTA 5. That game just too deadly. What happened in there? That is something really out of this world, man. Guys, we are 6 likes from 100. Somebody say we had 15 likes. Oh, guys, we had 94 likes right now. Click the thumbs up video right there, guys. We can do it, man. We can do it. Si te puede. Click the thumbs up button. Those who have not done so yet. Dominica is really a planet. I think Dominica is a whole solar system. Surrender your guns so we can arrest you. Well, that is another story right there. The case will not go anywhere unless Canadian authorities get involved. And it seemed like that, thinking of that might be an interesting one right there, guys, because if they do not want to get their main man in trouble, then they will tell the Canadian authorities, hey, maybe you guys should pay for it. The Canadian authorities is going to be like, really? What? No, we're not going to be paying for this. And as a result of them not paying, this case might just end up, you know? Does that make sense, guys? Because I'm thinking here, why did they want the Canadians to pay for it in the first place? Doesn't that sound legitimate, guys? Because to me, it sounds legitimate to me, eh? It's your main guy who has links to all sorts of government individuals or whatever, so they can buy passports and what have you. Maybe invest in Dominica, bring in more money in Dominica as a result of the CBI program. So maybe he can do so with real estate versus the people who just normally come, you know, to free up themselves, go European Union or whatever in that regard. So maybe they want the Canadians who will most likely solve these problems, these issues. But the American government should get involved too, because you not only have the Canadians whose life was taken from them, you have the Americans who caused these Canadians to lose their lives or alleged to have lost their lives. Therefore, why are you wanting the Canadians to pay for it when it happened in your country under your jurisdiction, knowing that maybe Canadian would not want to pay for it, and as a result of them not wanting to pay for it, that case might end up not getting anywhere? Interesting thought process, guys. What do you think of that? Avondale Baptist, that case will not go. Yeah. Scary looking for coup d'etat to happen for him to leave Dominica. Scary looking to secure himself so he can roll out when he wants to. But Dominica not competent of doing that. No, Dominica cannot even find out if somebody steal your thing for them to solve the problem. Can you imagine they rob the police station in St. Joseph? They rob the police. Mes amis, they rob the police station in St. Joseph and they yet to solve it. You're robbing the very police station and you cannot solve that problems. Is those things you expect to solve? Really?
The anger in this community is palpable. It is there. It is real. And it is simmering.
Simmering.
And, the way to put the anger out is when the justice is done.
Mm-hmm.
Determined to ensure the legacy of Daniel Langlois and Dominique Marchand lives on.
Yeah, it's hard. This is what I owe them. It can't be something that just disappears.
Boy.
We got to keep it out there.
Well, guys, at least we got a little something because we were not hearing anything at all, but we got something in that regard right there. I mean, some of the things a number of us actually know already, but you know, these things coming out in that regard right there. There's still a number of unanswered questions. Thanks for, by the way, guys, thanks for letting us reach 100 likes on this video. I appreciate that. I appreciate that right there. But guys, if nothing is being done, man, I don't know. Sometimes I tend to, you know, you don't want to lose faith, you know, in Dominica. But guys, sometimes people are waiting for other people to do it for them to have some sort of faith, when is everybody that's supposed to come together and say, hey, okay, we need answers. We need answers. You cannot just be, you know. But it's like some people are just waiting for somebody else to come and bring. Boy. When would I would think, when would Dominicans wake up? But Dominicans are wide awake, you know, guys. Dominicans are wide awake. The very man that caused these individuals to lose their lives, he was in the Panama Papers. I saw it there. It was in the Panama Papers. So you don't think that, you know, they're just giving certain people passports or bypassing due diligence process and saying we have the most robust. If you have the most robust due diligence process and these people come in, that means you actively making these people pass through on the basis of maybe getting more money than they would usually give. So if you had to pay $250,000 for real estate and you decide, okay, well, give me $500,000 or $750,000 or $1 million so I can bypass this. Knowing these individuals have a lot of money, you would then say, okay, we'll bypass this, but behave yourself. You know, we bypassing it, behave yourself, and you expect them to behave themselves. But Dominicans not competent of doing that. Rasta Aussie and Canada Prince or passport. Yes, that's another thing. We already. But let me leave that alone here. Scared give them a price to push them away. That's possible. Yeah, because I find it weird. Why would you tell them that they need to pay the millions of dollars to run the case when it happened in your country under your jurisdictions? And keep in mind, the police did absolutely nothing from our standing to help alleviate that problem. The locals had problem with them. The tourists coming in to patronize Dominica had problems with these people. These owners of Colibri had problems with these people, and police did nothing. Then you're finding out that he was some sort of link to the passport sales on the basis that he is connected to Skerrit them, and Skerrit come in and say he's not connected to these people, but he's your passport agent. I don't know. I just find it weird. I mean, when you ask questions, brothers and sisters, there's a lot more questions to be asked there and very little answer. So the questions that are already there are not answered, and more questions are coming up. How we expect to get the answers? Scared give them a price to push. Rasta Ozzy, I feel your frustration, bro. Man, people don't understand my frustration, eh? Because I watching Dominicans put themselves, I watch in Gaza. You know how long I watching Dominica go down the drain? Every single thing I've stated happening to Dominica has happened. Every single thing. You know how long I doing this, brothers and sisters? Since 2003, 2004, I doing that way. Watching every single thing I say come to pass. That frustration in that. I just remember the great book. The great book. When he was talking about Lazarus and the rich man, and the rich man was telling, was asking, you know, Abraham to send him back or send Lazarus back to warn his brothers not to come where he is. And Abraham told him, even if somebody were to be raised from the dead and come and warn these people, they will still not listen. Gasa. If that doesn't tell you something, I don't know. Because that makes me understand human nature. Sometimes when you're reasoning with humanity and different people have their viewpoints, brothers and sisters, you talking to them. They're seeing what you're saying. They have no arguments against what you're saying. But they will still keep their thought process, brothers and sisters. They will not change. They say smartness is not having the ability to retain knowledge, brothers and sisters. And say, I know this and I know that and I know this and I know that and I know everything, brothers and sisters. No, that's not smartness, not being smart. Or being intelligent. Intelligence is knowing that what you know, if somebody brings proper evidence towards you on what you know, and you change what you know as a result of newfound knowledge, that is intelligence. But we have a set of people just retaining the irrevocable foolishness that they're thinking in their heads, just so they can argue with you to retain some sort of loyalty to whomever that they are loyal to. This is one of the things that I notice in school, brothers and sisters. Critical thinking is deeply missing. They are making children dumb. They are making children dumb. This is one of the reasons why when you look at the statistics between homeschool kids and school students, the homeschool students do far better than the school system, than the school students. Far better. Look at Google the statistics. You will see it for yourself. And then you wonder why people not getting it. And even adults, brothers and sisters, when I was a little boy, I was very attentive to what was going around me. Very, very attentive. To the point where I say certain things. I remember even challenging my mother about some things that they say, and I say, look at there, look at there. And the whole thing changed. So I was very attentive to what people was saying, and then looking at the outcome of it, and then weighing if that makes sense or not. As a little boy, I did this. Growing up, looking at people who were older, you have to respect your elders because they were wiser. That's how when I reached 12 years old, I realized not everybody that is older is wiser, And keep in mind, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. A lot of people have knowledge, have no wisdom how to use what they know. Because I've asked some people sometimes when asking them questions, and they tell me, yeah, I know that I know. Wait a while, you tell me you know, and you're not doing what you know? How does that make sense? How on earth are you doing what? How on earth are you not doing what you know to do? That not making any sense to me. And then some people tell you, let us agree to disagree. Even though they agree with what you saying, but they don't want to change their behavior. So they will disagree with you, even though they agree with you, because they have no counteracting. It's weird. It's weird. Police are being employed locally by these woods. My parab sent me. Yeah, I've heard that. Not just police, but across the board. Teachers, whoever, brothers and sisters. Seems like I need you to read my palm, tell my future. Oh, trust me, you don't want me to do that. It's Madame Luluna. It's not palm, brothers and sisters. It's understanding trends. It's very easy to see trends. The problem with humanity is that they don't tend to focus on what's going around them. If you look at the outside world and look at inside, certain places like Canada, United States, France. France have a good set of fighting people there, so they, Germany and a number of places. The only place I see that doesn't fight is Dominica. Real talk, guys. I don't see Dominica fighting. All the other places, the people are seeing what's going on, and there's a lot of people talking against what's going on. Dominica just accepting what's happening to them. This is why it's going to be very interesting when the electoral reform thing comes out. It's going to be very, very interesting. Dominicans, wake up. Jerry Nelson is saying, Dominica, wake up. Do you know what it is to have a revolution. Yes, Dominica definitely know what it is like to have a revolution. You know the history of Dominica. The history of Dominica was built on revolution. This is why you tend to ask yourself, what has happened? I think money, the money factor has definitely happened. When you pay off the right set of people, because people look to other people to do things for themselves or to know where they're going. The people will never come and say, guys, let us do things. Well, back in the day, they were doing things, but that means back in the day, the people were united. Today, the people are not united. Therefore, when chaos takes place, guys, what do you expect to happen? Not chaos, no. When people are divided, chaos will happen. Rasta Ozzy tell me, I remember people telling you to get a job. Yeah, I remember people telling me get a job, but they have no clue. They would do what I'm doing if they knew. They would. Hey, I've retired since 2016, you know, guys. Since 2016, I have retired. So when people tell me get job, they have no clue. But then again, what am I bragging for? What am I bragging for? I just realized that something on my neck. Jerry, Dominicans wake up. Yeah, Dominicans need to wake up. Rayon, enjoy the life, seeing some improvements with each one. Yeah, man, you have to improve all the time. There's always room for improvement, you know. LL, very true. DA Prime Minister has signed the Samoa contract. That self is another kind of a overwhelming insanity. Prime Minister coming and say what he doesn't think. I don't think this. I don't think it means that. I don't think this. You have to be dumb to not think these things when everything they would not say it in word if they're trying to push an agenda. Why would they say it in word? Scary it. Why would they say it in word? When everything is disguised under pluralism. It's sometimes when you have incompetent people running, brothers and sisters, you don't expect competent outcomes. That is my point in this whole thing. We have an incompetent leader when we think there's an competent outcome going to happen. Really? Avandale, Duns dotage bewitched, bewildered, inebriated, for a few words to describe the state of Dominican condition. I don't think that is the case for Dominica's condition. I think Dominica's condition is that the people are defeated. The people are defeated. When the people are defeated, they act in accordance to that of which they are defeated. This is why some months ago I was talking about there's a calm right now, because it seems like the people just accept that what is happening in Dominica is their outcome. They just accept that is their outcome, that is their life now. That is how it is. When you challenge them and say, but wait a while, why things are not better? They come and they point in, hey, but look, that happening in the other country. So because it happened in the other country, it's supposed to happen to your country. Because something happening to your household, that means in my household, that's supposed to happen too. Especially when the opportunity to be better is there. Dominica has far more vast resources than Antigua, Barbados, St. Kitts and Nevis combined. Combined, Antigua is on the verge of breaking 1 million tourists. Let me continue. Mr. Lix, you know what baffles me? Those have to take an oath to serve and protect the citizens. Cameron is saying this. Those have to take an oath to protect the citizens, and the commissioner is doing nothing to investigate the government for all the missing monies. Well, like I told you guys, one of the things that I said was going to happen as a result of what I see is not just the government saying, oh, let's do this and let's do that, you know. The government is going to go after every sector that can compromise him. So they go after the police, they go after the judicial system, they go after education. So if you're trying to find a job in teaching or whatever, they go after everything to ensure that it's their people that are elevating. This is why we have a set of incompetent people in positions. Look at Octavia Alfred. She's the education minister of Dominica. She's the education minister of Dominica. Talking about drone can travel thousands of miles below sea level. Jesus. Help me, Father. Below sea level, guys. When sunlight only goes about 1.5 miles down. Heavenly Symphony. Mr. Lix, you need to teach us young men how to retire early like you. Well, Obama picked me up, eh? So Obama picked me up, and I learned that the system that were taught to us in school is not how people should actually live. I watch people working their entire life, brothers and sisters. Well, I don't watch people. I know people that have worked in their entire life. And I see some of the bank accounts, brothers and sisters, and I wonder if you start to work, or you start to work yet? Have you started to work? Some people are heavily in debt. Brothers and sisters, this is why I always constantly talk about living wage. There's a huge difference when it comes down to salaries and living wage. You see other Caribbean islands doing the same jobs that Dominicans doing. Dominicans will make about 1,002, 1,005, maybe 1,006, 2,000. Where overseas in other countries they're getting paid $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 for the same job. And you think that that is not by design, guys? I mean, come on, looking at the inflation value, man. One of the things I always tell people about saving in the bank. Saving in the bank is not a smart idea now, guys. Thompson Fountain was talking about the inflation values, stating that during the whole Rona situation, the inflation went up to, not the Corona situation, the war thing, because we have imported inflation, and inflation went up by 9%. Obviously, people like me know better to calculate inflation based off prices that I used to pay for back in the day and prices I pay now. So if I used to pay for bread $1 and now today's $1.50, inflation went up by 50%. Not 9%, but generally speaking, they would say 9%. So when you're saving your money in the bank getting 2%, you see your money going up, but you don't know the value of your money is decreasing. Whereas the bank is flipping your money constantly, making about 12 to 14% or even more. So you saving your money in the bank thinking, oh, I'm going to get my 2%. Money is created for debt, guys. Just learn that, not for you to save. Save what you need. If you have about 6 months. I learned all this under Obama, them, you know, guys. All this I learned because these people came from all sorts of places. Another thing I know, one thing you have to understand when you're doing entrepreneurship is that your location is important. No matter what people tell you, brothers, no matter what people tell you, because you need a place that has spending power. I heard the government talking about entrepreneurship and this kind of thing. The government knows that not all this, brothers and sisters, 12 businesses closed down for the year already. 12 businesses has closed down already for the year. All you don't understand what I mean? 12? Okay. Understanding is key, brothers and sisters. Understanding is key. And if you constantly live a cycle even you don't understand because that's what the system teach you, you screwed. You screwed. One of the greatest things I happy when I went up under Washington, brothers and sisters, is that I understood currency. Them people know about currency. Some of these folks don't live in the United States, you know. They go down to Colombia. They go down to a number of the poor countries so that they can triple their money when they're making monies and this kind of things there. They go Dominican Republic. They have a ball of a time. Some of them go Susua. If you know, you know. They go down there and they understand currency because they know what is taking place. Dollar for dollar doesn't make any sense in a country. You make dollar for dollar in Dominica, and the dollar you're making is far less than what truly is the value of what you work for. Can you imagine working a whole hour just for you to make $7? Just for you to make $10? Your hour? A hour? Yes, sir. So that's just my thoughts on that right there, Heavenly Symphony. Thanks for educating the masses. You can take the horse to the water, but you cannot force it to drink. But you can give it salt water. You can give it salt. They say put salt in the hay, and when you bring it by the water, it must drink. So, well, that's one way you can do it. Imagine Davidson say, imagine you on the scene forever, wanting Dominicans instead of listening to you, they hating. Well, some Dominicans do listen to me, to the point where some parents were wondering what they should do with their children. Should they send their children overseas? I tell them yes. Because when you send your children overseas to better conditions, they are able to strive. In Dominica, you cannot strive. You have to battle with the competition on very low spending power. People just live in the life saying they're going to teach. They go to school, they go overseas, they come back, they go to teaching, and they go in. Boy, at least certain places in Dominica, when you go overseas to study or you go online to study or whatever, you get a little increase in your salary, whether it's $500 or $1,000 increase or something like that. I think the credit union does that right there. But, seems like if the government come for the credit union, that self is a problem. Calm before the storm. Darkest hour is just before dawn. I was hearing these kind of things, man. The sun comes out after the rain. All these kind of things. But it seems like the rain keep falling. In that Dominica there, the rain just falling and falling and falling. Boys, one problem after the other. And the thing is, guys, I know the potential Dominica has. I know the potential Dominica has. I've spoken to a number of economists and people who have known about Dominica in the foreign sector. They know what Dominica have. Dominicans apparently don't know what Dominica have. When the government come in and tell you about, if not CBI, what else? We have, we're not preserving our waters. We're not preserving our herbs. We're not preserving our soil. We're not doing nothing. We're talking about geothermal, brothers and sisters. Geothermal is going to affect who? Who geothermal gonna affect? You're going to pay, let's say you pay less for your electricity. You pay less for your electricity, but you still have proper jobs. Brothers and sisters, help me understand something, Nena. You pay less for electricity. Hopefully geothermal makes you pay 50% less. Let's hope that's not possible, but 50% less you end up paying for your electricity. You still have high gas prices. You have to pay high prices for products. If you want to build your house, brothers and sisters, they say that self go up by 75%. Supply building materials went skyrocket, I heard, guys. Skyrocket. And then they want people to build back better so that their houses can be hurricane resilient. Well, like if you guys watch the previous reaction I did today, it seems like the pathway between Dominica and Guadeloupe is going to be very, very high. Developing of strong storms. They say 6 strong hurricanes should develop, and there are a couple of low hurricanes and tropical storms that should be developing. And along the pathway, there's Dominica. The top of Dominica has a very high chance of developing strong hurricanes. At the bottom of Dominica has high chances. So that means Dominica must get something this time around. Dominica must get something this time around. Let me just take a few more, guys, and then I'm gonna roll out, man. Mr. Leaks, I for one enjoy the live more time to interact. Yeah, we'll interact. That's a vibe, man. Feels and George said that's insane. I guess whatever I said is truly insane. What will it take in Dominica for Dominicans to wake up? Well, I think Dominicans have been defeated, and it might take the next generation to wisen up. But then again, is the next generation going to be better than the previous one? Because usually in natural selection, the next generation is supposed to be stronger than the previous one. But it seems like the powers that be are literally making the next generation much weaker. That's facts, brothers and sisters. That's science. I'm telling you that, you know. Science. Even testosterones in men back in the day. Well, men back in the day used to do way more stuff. In modern times, technology has allowed people to become a little lazy. So that would make sense why testosterone has dropped. But all that is in science, you know, guys. Dominicans are satisfied with living from hand to mouth, yes. A lady happy she working. I met a lady in Calypso. A lady tell me she happy to have a job in NEPV. NEPV, the lady happy to have a job. Why is she happy to have a job in NEP? Makes sense why is she happy, because nothing else is being developed to have other levels of different types of jobs or businesses that can actually create employment for people. 12 businesses closed down for the year. 12. If I could, I would have clicked 20 times. Big up. I appreciate that, Valentine Bellot. Cameron, do you think Dominicans are satisfied? Yeah, living hand to mouth. Avondale Baptist or Plight did not come around haphazard. What is that? Haphazardly? Haphazardly? I can't pronounce that word. Haphazardly. It is intentional and planned. I think you probably pronounced that word wrong, but hey. They were thieving. They were stealing all the country's salary. Yeah. Guys, it's interesting to find out that the government apparently is giving people who are not part of the government a salary. Hey. Oh boy. Dominicans are so beaten down. Yeah. Dominicans have the understanding that they are beaten. Seriously beaten, you know. So they just say, oh, whatever. They don't realize that the next generation coming up with the same mentality of being beaten, so they will think that this is normal. We need a strong leader that can lead the... Well, we keep looking for leaders, brothers and sisters. I think the best leader we're supposed to look for is Yeshua. Mankind is in trouble because it doesn't listen to God. Yes, man. Mankind is in deep trouble because we're choosing leaders that don't seem to know anything about God, but they're using God in every chance that they get. Anyways, brothers and sisters, this is pretty much all I have for this year vibrations. I know a number of you guys came into this one. Even now, more of you guys actually came on Friday, just talking and vibes on this thing right there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed haphazard. Yeah, I know the word you're saying, you know, but I'm thinking about haphazardly. I can't remember. Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the vibes right there, man. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. And of course, as time goes by, guys, we will definitely get more reactions, live interactions as time goes by. Don't forget to check out the previous reaction I did on BrBpTV, this channel, as well as the Mistakes reaction, guys. And of course, I'm going to go do some gymming, brothers and sisters. Well, calisthenics. So with that steady right there, I sit down long. Let me go and work the blood, right? We work the blood. Let me go and pump the blood, man. Yes, brothers and sisters. About Mistakes once again. Be real with the Most High's help as always, guys. Be positive and definitely stay prayed up. I'll see you guys in the next one right there. Tune in tomorrow for another vibes on BrBpTV and hopefully another one on the Mistakes reaction, guys. Don't forget, guys, if you have not clicked the thumbs up button, click the thumbs up button for me, please. And of course, with that, stay right there. I'll see you guys. I really enjoyed this one today. I think, yeah, out of everything, I definitely enjoyed this one right there. So look out for more kind of vibes like this one right there, guys. Big up yourself one time.